Alrighty, hey everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with our Power 1 fighter tier list. By the way, big thank you to Till Counterpunch who put together all these different tier lists. Appreciate him taking the time to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Delguan. I feel like the Delguan just always sort themselves really easily. So we are going to get Faithful Servant up here at S tier. And we're going to get Under Church Reverend up at S tier as well. There's just a reason why you see these two dudes in like 90% of Delguan lists. It's because they're that good. You generate a bunch of value from this guy. You get to do Fatigue Cheat for Brutes and Demons all over the field, regardless of position. Yeah, they're really strong. Okay, let's go ahead and grab Under Church Devout. I'm going to put him in C tier. He's a fine card. It's just when you're looking next to Reverend and some of the other choices you have, you're going to have a hard time slotting this guy into your deck. Stone Seeker, I think, is a fine B tier card. He can actually be really nice, especially if you're doing like a really combo-oriented deck. There's a few of those you can make in Delguan. So if you're doing a big combo deck between him and Summoning Rites, you're going to be able to get your stuff fairly quickly, which is really nice. Neophyte, I think, is a nice B tier. He's pretty good. You can get back lots of value. You get back Flute Asbran, you get back Crick, you can get back lots of really good cards with this guy. So yeah, no, he's good. I'm going to put him in B tier. I'll put Vec in A tier. Lots of fun to use. You've got lots of options to synergize with him between things like Tunnel Exit, Infernal Tunnelman, just moving. So yeah, really nice card. A tier, being able to trade up on 3s is really nice. Excavation Coordinator, I'm going to go ahead and put up here in the B tier, actually. I do really like him. He can be really useful for different Undermine synergies, if that's something you're going for, or just for popping off something off the top, can be really handy. So yeah, he's good. Deep Bowl Vessel, I'm going to put up here in A tier. He's really strong. You can get a nice trade up into 2s or 3s, get action gain if you're sacrificing cultists. So yeah, really solid card. I like it overall. I think it's kind of underplayed card. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, and then let's go ahead and look at Keeper of Nameless. This is an interesting one because you don't see a ton of Nameless One action. But that said, he's very good for when you get Nameless One out, being able to attack with 4 anytime you want. So I'm actually going to put him in the low A tier just because having that kind of choice on what your Nameless One is doing is actually a really, really big boon. So I'm going to put him low A tier. Okay, let's go ahead and get Bolt Bear up here into S tier. He's pretty much an extra 3 that you get. Nice job, Donovan. Great card. Yeah, really not too hard to keep his effect active in the Shardsworn. So yeah, I'm going to keep him up here in S tier. Fate Weaver, I'm going to go ahead and have him as high A tier. I think he's actually a really nice, or she, I think they're a really nice card. Being able to move unfatigued with attachments is really nice for your Bolt Bender or different things like Earth Bolt, Lightning Bolt. So really good card in my opinion. Space Weaver I think is fine. I don't see, I'm actually going to put it upper C tier. I don't see a ton of need, frankly, to deploy attachments all over the field. I think most of the time you're going to be pretty okay in the Oroxy to just put them up in your back row. Especially now with, what's the card? With the Void active, having a huge back row, there's just lots of opportunity. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the Threadbare. I'm going to put him high A tier. I do really like this card, especially with the Void. I think he threatens quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and put him over here towards the top of 8 right now. I think he's a really, really nice card. Okay, Time Weaver, I think it's a really solid B tier card. I don't think you necessarily need the extra action, but I think it's nice to have, and I think all the Weavers have really nice synergies with Fate Woven Tapestry. Veteran Herdsman, I'm going to put in the A tier, probably above Fate Weaver over here. It's really nice to get an extra tactic. Migration is a really useful one. You can get free actions with him, so while he himself isn't that impressive, being able to slot in that 6th tactic with Migration is really effective. Okay, Doomweaver, I think, is top of B tier. He's pretty solid, actually. I mean, he just sits there and you wait to blow him up, but between Unraveler and Drop Shadow, you can pull him off pretty easily. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go ahead and put this guy. Okay, let's go ahead and look next at Gloomweaver. Gloomweaver, I do really like Gloomweaver. I think I'm going to put him, I'm going to drop them down here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put Gloomweaver above Doomweaver. Really, really nice card in the right situation. If you don't have the right shadows, that can be a little more annoying. Shadow Dancer is nice. I just think you have a lot of other options you're going to prefer with him. So I'm going to put him over into the C tier territory. Really nice card. Just I think you've got some better options to work with. And Twin of Twine, I'm going to put up here at the top of B tier. Really, really effective in the right scenarios. Yeah, I think I like that in that position quite a bit. I'm going to kind of shift some things around here. Yeah, close to A tier, just not quite for me personally. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the Gloaming. Gloaming's going to be a really tough one, actually. But let's go ahead and start Undead Horde. I'm going to actually put Undead Horde in the S tier. It's a really nice card. There's a ton of things you can do with 1's in the Gloaming, Everking and whatnot. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm going to put him up here. Echoing Spectre, I'm going to put in the B tier. Just a pretty solid card. Not the most amazing, but really nice, really combos with conversion, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, we'll put him right here for right now. Undying Minion. I hate to do this to him, but he's D tier. I mean, he's really nice with Everking and really good in draft. I don't think this tier list is based off of draft. It's just you have so many better choices than him. Veiled Queen we're going to put here at the top of A tier. I think Veiled Queen is a really nice card, really good control card, gives you tons of options. So yeah, I think that's A tier for the Veiled Queen. Dread Officer, lowest of the low D tiers. So sorry. You can kind of make it work. I have made it work with Village, but it's just so much investment to make this one card work that it's not worth it most of the time, unfortunately, because it is really cool. S tier for Swarm Seeker. I really do like Swarm Seeker quite a bit. It threatens a ton. You have tons of ways in the Gloaming to make the enemy stack bigger, so it's really easy to proc. And so having a 3 trade up possibility that you get to bring back a bunch is really strong. Jester, he's a nice B tier card. I think he's not the most amazing, but I do like him. I do like what he has to offer with trade ups. Soul Swap makes things interesting with Everking. Forced attacks are always nice. So yeah, B tier card for me. Phantom Courier is, in my opinion, like right at the top of this. You do get Fatigue Cheat with Gloaming, which is really nice because they don't get that, but it is more of an activate action to do it, and it's just with 1's. That said, you can really make some nice things happen with this guy. So yeah, top of B tier for me. Ladies in Waiting, definitely S tier. They're going right here behind Reverend, in my opinion. There's a reason you saw these in like every single 2v2 match, and with the really potent action abilities that Gloaming have access to, it's just a really, really easy choice. Yeah, so thank you, Ladies in Waiting, for being a pain in the butt to play against, but no, you're a really good card. And that was it. Didn't put any C tiers. Felt like Undying Minion probably could have been a C tier, honestly. It's just, I don't know. I think D tier needed some love. Okay, Advisor to the Empress, I think is a pretty solid B tier card. Really nice to have out when you have it, but you're not going to use it a whole lot unless you're playing Empress Liara. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that here. And you know what? I'm going to drop this to the top of A tier. Undead Horde, really good card. Maybe not quite S tier though, especially because of the action cost for it. Okay, let's look at what's next. Abandoned Marvoran is actually an A tier for me. Very good card. I really like the Abandoned Marvoran. It's been really potent in my Melpomene list. Being able to have just that one cost to play an action, play a song, and get an extra fighter is really effective. I really like the diminutive Marvoran, unironically. Very good card. Dramatis Persona is a pretty high B tier card for me. Having the 1's be in the back row is actually really nice for things like Moonlit Shapeshift and whatnot, so that is a good card. Fangblade Assassin is right up there in S territory, or top of A. I'm going to probably put top of A right now just because you kind of need Liara to bring it to the S territory. But super simple to use and really potent. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and stick that over here. Let's see, Vicar of Lunia, that's a nice B tier card. If your back row is huge, it's kind of a must-have, but that is unfortunate for them. But I do like what it has to offer, and not being able to be affected by tactics can really lock out your opponent in some scenarios, which is why I think I'm going to go ahead and put them right there where I did. Wave Runner, really good card. I feel like these guys have a lot that are approaching S territory but aren't really there. I'm surprised to see no C tiers, in my opinion. I feel like they can't all be A or B. That seems wrong. Advisor of the Empress, just because it is so dependent on its usefulness being with Liara, I'm going to put her down in C tier. And we'll probably drop her a bit down here. I just felt like they had to have someone down in C tier, Okay, let's go ahead and look at the benefactors. Nice solid B tier choice, in my opinion. They can slot into a lot of decks. There are lots of fun gimmicky things you can do with them, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in the middle of B. Farmer in kind of a similar position, really nice for combo stuff. Put them over here. Okay, so the thing about the Low Country Cutthroat, I'm going to put him towards the top of B. The reason why he's so nice is because he has really, really good synergies with things like Head of Hybrids and the Protein, but otherwise he's not your most effective one. But I really like him. Wanderer, really fun card. Lots of ways to get good value from him. Another solid B tier. I feel like a lot of the neutrals just lend themselves to B tier in a really simple way, but you can get off some really good sieges with him. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and stick him right here. Bladesmith, another B tier. Doesn't shine in a lot of situations, but he can really mess up an attachment, and he really, really shines in the Inquisitor's deck. So I'm going to actually put him above Benefactors, probably about right here. Fangcoast Merchant. Just for pause, I'm going to put him down at the low A tier. Pause is always playing Fangcoast Merchant. The thing about Fangcoast Merchant is if you are playing an OTK deck, he's super nice because he just lets you get to that situation where you can siege your opponent for the win really quickly before they can set up too much board state and stop you. So for that reason, I do think he actually is deserving of the A tier. Novice Wizard. This guy's just the worst. I mean, I really like the Adventurers. I'm a big, big fan of them. I can get around all of the other Adventurers' disabilities really easily. Botch Healer, just don't put him by 1's, or you can even combo with 1's in the Gloaming, killing them. But like compared to the other Adventurers, this guy just sucks. You hate to make your tactics more costly. It just breaks most of them. So yeah, I really hate him. He's the worst. Seaside Busker is a nice B tier. Like I said, like all these neutral 1's are just kind of B tier material. He's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're not often gonna do a thing where you're picking him, so I actually am gonna put him at the top of the C tier. B tier is getting a bit full, and we need more love down here in C tier. Sea Monkey actually I think is another C tier. It's fine. It's just really, really specific. It's a greatly nerfed Faithful Servant. So yeah, I'm just gonna put him over here towards the top of C. Quartermaster, pretty good. I'm gonna put this over towards the top of B tier. Just getting extra tactics is really strong, as we talked about with veteran herdsman. Getting extra seeing can be super nice. So yeah, I'm gonna put up here towards the top. Botch Healer, I'm gonna put in B tier. He's actually not bad to work around, and he can combo. You know what? He's an adventurer. We should put him in C tier, but he's the top of C tier because he does have some uses where he can combo with the glowing, and he's not hard to work around one bit compared to Novice Wizard. Bards, you hate to see it, but he is S tier. Look, this guy's just really, really good. He just absolutely destroys the plan of anything. He just is really a good card, but because he's neutral, I'll put him at the bottom of the S tier. But he can completely stop an opponent in his track. Halfling Chef, I'm actually going to put S tier as well. Or maybe high A tier. Maybe top of A tier, really, really nice. There are some really broken things that some factions can do with just one extra action, and he enables that. So yeah, no, he's going to go up at the top of A tier. Okay, Corpse Collector, I think he's fine. If you're playing an ingredients deck, Lab Assistant's probably a bit better, so, but he's a bit more niche in his use, so I'm going to put him up here at the top of C tier. I'm actually going to bump up Advisor to the Empress over here. She is pretty nice. Same thing, Shadow Dancer. I feel fine where these guys are at, so yeah. Lab Assistant's pretty good. He's a pretty consistent way to pull off the ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and put him down towards the bottom of B tier. Test Subject, I hate to do this. I'm going to put him C tier. The hard thing about him is he gets you a 3, which gives you forced actions, but it's really easy for the opponent to see coming, and I feel like there's so many times I get all his ingredients except for one, and then they'll pull the plug and just kill him. And so that can be really hard. I just think he's a little too tricky to really get your full value of, which is unfortunate because I really like the card. It's just really hard to pull off. Okay, Overgrown Firefly, A tier. Actually, yeah, I think this is a solid card. Really nice. It can get you some extra time when you need. It can force the opponent to step onto places they don't want, pop Spore Colonies. I actually think it's a really, really good card. Fungoid Rock Tender, I think he's pretty high B tier. He can be really nice for growing stuff, but it's a bit more situational, and you have to have a really nice setup for it. So yeah, we'll put him right in the middle of B tier there. Mycomancer, S tier. I think the thing with Mycomancer is you do have Fatigue Cheat with him, but you also just get things like Abrupt Decay, Explosive Sporocarps. You just have a ton of things that you can trigger with him. So I think he's really, really good. He's one of the best ones. Rock On Mimic, I think, is a nice A tier. I think being able to just yeet another tactic, like we've talked about with Veteran Herdsman, is really, really strong, and sometimes you get really good tactics. It'd probably be a bit higher, but it is dependent on what your opponent is running, so I'll probably put him a little lower down here, kind of right behind Fate Weaver. Okay, Synthesizing Florimancer, really nice card. We're going to put him up in B tier. He can be very versatile, but he's takes a bit more setup, but I really do like it quite a bit. Battle Cleric Solara, we're going to put up in high B. really quite versatile. You know what? We're actually going to swap. We're going to put him low A, and we're going to put Overgrown Flytrap at the top of B. But no, I really like what Battle Cleric has to offer, but is an action ability. So you just have to deal with that. Kennelmaster, I think, is also kind of low A territory. He's pretty good. Being able to generate Griff Dogs. Griff Dogs are super, super handy. So yeah, we're going to stick him up there. Shieldsman, we're going to put at pretty high A. I think he is a very solid option. That the Refractory have. He can be super, super tough to work around. Issue with him is if you bank too much on him, he can get cannon shot and you lose your whole game plan. But he's really nice. Standard Bearer is an S tier. I mean, I've just seen time and time again where this guy just wrecks people. I'm actually going to put him up here in the list. He doesn't care what he's using as unfatigued. If you let this guy live, he's going to just destroy you. So yeah, really high S tier for Standard Bearer. Heretic Condemner, S tier. Wow, they just have so many good ones. Thing about Heretic Condemner, he'll just eat you up. This guy can completely thwart really big combo stacks, really big siege stacks, tons of OTK scenarios. Yeah, just an excellent, excellent card to have. This guy we're going to put up towards the top of C tier. He can be really nice. I just think with the suite of really good refractory fighters that you have, it's hard to choose him. Kind of Griffhound, I'm going to put him low B tier. He is really cool. He's got some cool synergies with Bred for War, but again, he just suffers from having a lot of better choices. Siege Captain, I'm going to put a bit higher in B tier. Probably right up here above Fang Coast Bladesmith. For combo decks, he's actually really amazing, but it's a bit more niche, and so we're going to put him down there. Watchman we'll put in the B tier category. He's fine. He can do some really nice things for you. I just am not going to pick him over the other choices. Okay, and we're at Shardsworn, our very last group here. Demo Experts, I'm going to put in the A tier. Really nice removal option that they have. And yes, I'm going to put him pretty high. You've got lots of fun toss plays, trail plays, different ways you can pull him off pretty smoothly. So A tier for him. Elven Druid, I think, is an S tier, really effective threat at the end game for sieging and being able to, with Master of the Hunt, make him a 3. I think is a really good one. He's not always the best, but I really, really like him. I think he's probably like the bottom of S tier, though, because he can be, you can get locked out of him or get him destroyed pretty simply. Elven Ranger is pretty decent. We're going to put him up here above the Vicar, above here. Really nice B tier card. Can be really nice for sniping things that are a problem. Orc Berserker, let's go ahead and put him right at the top of A tier. I think he's a really good card. I just think his issue is that he can be countered decently with like just approaching him with a 1 or different scenarios like that, but he's really great with Diversion, really great with Ogre Prophetess, so we're going to put him up there. Goblin Elder, I think, is an A tier card. A very, very nice one. Synergizes with a lot of things. We're going to go ahead and put, I do think Goblin Elder is better than Demo Experts. We'll put him right here below Veiled Queen. There's just so many ways to exploit the different trait synergies in the Shardsworn specifically that he's a really, really nice card. Half Orc, I think, is a good B tier card. Pretty versatile, but it's just kind of the one use. I mean, that's not true. You have so many ways to get back deploy actions. I just think he's not as nice as some of the other options these guys have. So we'll put him right here. Okay, Ogre Prophetess is an A tier card for me. Pretty nice one to work with. Probably just right here above Goblin Elder. Getting that fatigue cheat can be super strong in the right deck. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put Prophetess high A tier. Shard Wisp, I'd say, is like basically the top B tier card. It can be really, really nice with the right setup. Really enables some really nasty things in the Shardsworn sometimes. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put high B tier there. And then Elven Trapper is an A tier card in my opinion. A really nice one, can set up some really cool OTKs and whatnot. We'll go ahead and put him right over here. Okay, let's take a look at my list, see if there's anything I really want to shift around. S tier, we have Underchurch, Ladies, Standard Bearer, Fungoid, Faithful Servant, Swarm Seeker, Bolt Bearer, Heretic Condemner, Bards, and Elven Druid. I feel really good about that list. Again, Elven Druid's close to A tier, but I think they do a nice job rounding out the S tier. A tier, Berserker, Chef, Shieldsman, Fangblade, Undead Horde, Veiled Queen, yep, Threadbare, Wave Runner, Diminutive, Vec, Herdsman, Fate Weaver, Golem Mimic, Vessel, Kennel Trap, Merchant, Solar. Yeah, I think this is good. Shard Wisp, Overglown Fly Trap, Quartermaster. Yep, Keeper of Nameless. I think this is pretty good over here. I think Twain of Time should be a lot higher on this list, actually. We'll probably put him at the top of B tier. He is a very effective card, so I like that for him. And I do think the Wanderer deserves to be a bit higher, too. Go ahead and put the Wanderer over here. Doomweaver, I do want to be higher B tier as well. He's really nice. Yeah, I feel good about those changes. Gloomweaver, I think, is better than a lot of these as well. Let's go ahead and put him down here. Let's bump up Keeper of the Nameless to right here. Neophyte needs a bump up. Echoing Spectre needs a bump up. Dramatist probably needs a bump up as well. Jester's fine. Stoneseeker's fine. Time Weaver probably better than all these ones. Lab Assistant right here. Okay, I like that. C tier, Corpse Collector, Test Subject, Advisor, Empress. Yeah, I feel really good about that list. And down here in the D tier, yeah, I think this is a really good list, actually. I don't think there's a whole lot that people could find to nitpick this one, but if you think there's something that's super wrong, let me know. I want to hear about it. And yeah, I'll catch you coming up next. We'll have 3 more tier lists. We're going to have tactics, just base tactics. We'll have attachments, and we'll have constructs. And that's going to wrap up our tier list for right now. Thanks for watching these. I think they're super fun to make. Okay, catch you later. Bye.